Hi again, and once again welcome to Hobby World. If you are interested in 3D printing, miniature painting, slot car racing, or just creative projects in general, you have come to the right place. Today I'm going to share all of my current summer projects, so you know what to expect. And trust me, there are some great stuff on the way. Well, let's just begin right over here with this full-scale 3D printed fantasy themed pin-up girl, and she is basically finished, but I still need to do something with it. I need to build a display, sort of like the one over here with Gollum, that can support the model and display her. So that's probably not going to take more than a couple of days to finish one of those, but it needs to be done because right now this chair is the thing that's keeping this model up, or at least this chair is the safety net that prevents this model from tipping over, as it is a bit top heavy, no pun intended. So I'm going to build a display for this model. As some of you might have noticed, I really enjoy working with all kinds of hobbies, and slot cars are one of my absolute favorites. So this is my good old slot car track, and during this holiday I need to make several upgrades on it. I need to fix the pit lane up here, and I need to make a lot of scenery on it. And I have another track. I have this one over here. I have already posted several videos about this on the Hobby World channel, but this track also needs a lot of work. This is only half finished. So I have made a lot of scenery. I've made the track, it's routed in wood, and I still need to make a lot of scenery pieces. And I also need to make small details, such as these models here that needs split painting. And actually I need to repopulate the entire track with people. So this is one of those projects that's going to take a long time. I just love that kind of projects because I can take a single day and say, hey, today I want to do something with the slot car track. But I have these two tracks and I'm going to work on them during the summer. Those of you that have followed my channel for a while will have noticed that I have been doing a lot of work with collectible models. So, for example, I have printed figurines of known characters from games, Jinx for example, and I did that in PLA, large scale, and it worked really well. But you can't get the same amount of details in PLA as you can in Resin. So this room is dedicated to my SLA printers, where I can print really detailed parts. So I just installed this table here of the spare parts, spare resin, whatever I need up here, and this is just great. I actually haven't used it yet, but I expect to print a lot of really fancy and nice models and then paint them up, because I just love working with these small tiny models. And speaking of collectible models, this is 2B from Nier Automata. The model is printed in resin and the display is printed in PLA. And I still need to do a bit of work on the display down here, but this is such rewarding hobby working with these models, and I really enjoy it. This is one of the ways I really relax when painting on these. So you can expect to see a lot more like this on the channel in the future. There is a large box. This box is full of one full-scale 3D printed model that is more or less related to one of my slot car tracks. So just by looking at all of these parts down here, I am going to assemble and paint this one up during summer. And this is a project I've been waiting for a long time, because I think I've had these parts laying around for almost a year now, and I'm looking forward to painting it. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I am going to let you guess. So if you have any clues, write in the comments down below what this is. During this summer, not everything is going to be about all these huge, massive projects. I'm also going to take it down a bit and work on some of the small things here in life, such as this miniature model and this diorama. I have a dragon, a girl that's being sacrificed. It's a nice storyline for making a diorama, and I think this is going to turn out great. The dragon is printed in PLA, the girl is printed in resin, so I'm going to combine these two types of printers during this vacation and get the best out of both of them. I also have several models of dragons that has been printed and assembled, and I just need to paint them. So I'm going to relax a bit by doing just that during this holiday. A lot of my projects doesn't end up on YouTube because it takes a lot of time making videos, but they often end up on my Facebook group or on my Instagram page. So I also make work in progress pictures, and I show the entire process and so on these platforms. So please consider following me on Facebook and follow me on Instagram. That would really mean a lot, as I'm trying to increase the amount of followers on both platforms. And down here in the corner I have another gem. This is another full-scale 3D printed model, and as you can see, there are missing some parts here. This is because this is a T900 Terminator model, so I still need to design some robotic parts hanging down from the bottom of her on the waist area down below the arms, and then a complete display where the model is going to be hanging sort of like in an industrial complex where the robot is being manufactured or it's being maintained. And I have already made that. Just take a look at the picture I'm showing here on the side. And this is a huge project, and I am pretty far with it, so I expect to finish this during the holiday too. I need to finish up and wrap up all of these small projects I'm working on. It's not just all work on the slot car tracks during this holiday. I've also decided to make this room look as good as possible and make it a nice place where people can hang out and race with slot cars. So all of my flags down there by the end, I have added some cafe tables and chairs, so it's a comfortable place where people can sit, play some small games, cards and so on while they wait for race time or when they're just spectating. And finally I decided to take that long wall over here, it's around 8 meters long, and build a drag race strip. So as you can see here, I have already done a lot of work on it, and I'm going to finish this during the holiday. This is basically just a straight track, but I am going to add some details. I'm going to make this inspired by Fast and Furious. It's going to be a city setup, so it could be some sort of theme like illegal street racing or something like that. I'm going to build buildings all along the track. Going to add a large panorama picture on the back wall here, the black wall you can see behind it, so it gets this nice feel of actually being in a city. And this kind of track, of course, basically tests people's reaction times and how well their cars stick to the track. So this is a nice add-on to the other two slot car tracks in here. And I think this is going to be a really nice place for people when we meet and when we compete in our slot car races. I am currently working on a really nice project that's a bit more practical in use than hobby use. It is the stuff these two printers are currently working on. This is a frame for a cabinet, a display cabinet for displaying slot cars or trophies or miniatures or something like that. Recently I pledged on a Kickstarter, it went through, and I've just gotten all of the models. So I am currently printing really many parts for that. This is part of the front. You can see it over here. It's going to be a frame. We're going to install a set of plexiglass front here. There will be plexiglass on the sides. We have the spacers over here, so you can see how that works. Then there will be a plexiglass set here, and then the top window on it, and I can display slot cars and all kinds of stuff inside these. And where I'm going to hang them, I'm going to hang them on that wall over there above the drag race strip I'm working on. So all along this wall there will be placed these display cabinets full of plexiglass, and I'll install LED lights inside them so they can shine up, and thereby also helping a bit with the poor lighting in this part of the room. So this is going to look incredible. All of this room is going to be a complete slot car related room where I have a bit of other stuff, but mostly it will be about slot cars, racing cars and so on. So currently the drag race strip here, then the cabinets up there, and that's probably going to take all of the summer because the printers can only print so much, and there are lots of parts, and as you can see it's actually building furniture with a 3D printer. Well, that concludes most of the official tour, but I still have some projects in store for you beside all of these I've shown you. One of them is a slot car track that is 3D printed as a rally track, and I'm going to do something new on the channel. I'm going to be working a bit with projects I'm going to call 1 week build or 2 week build, where I complete a project within the given time, and then I make sure that I make a lot of video about it and add the video as a complete project when it's finished. So a 1 week slot car track, for example, would result in a single project video where I show the entire process from start to finish, and I do it all in a week, so people hopefully can get inspired and decide to do their own tracks. The day-to-day progress in these projects will be shared on my Facebook group, so if you are not part of that yet, please consider joining the group on Facebook. A lot of my stuff is also posted on Instagram, so if you'd like more updates and see more of the work I do, especially regarding miniatures and finished pictures, project pictures of the final result, you should consider joining me on Instagram. All of the links are down in the description below, so both for the Facebook group and Instagram. And I'm always happy to answer questions, so if you have any questions or feedback both to my videos, projects and so on, feel free to ask them. Join the Facebook group, ask them in there, or write a comment on Instagram, write a comment down here on YouTube. I always appreciate it. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to sharing all of these projects with you during the summer. There are always room for smaller projects too. It's not all these epic grand projects. This is a 3D printed engine block with room for 6 sodas or drinks of some sort, and you can put ice in the top, and it's a really fun project, and I thought this would be really nice for this racing room, placing one of these in the cafe table with 6 cool drinks in them. So just so you know, there are always room for small projects too. It doesn't all have to be full-scale 3D printed giant models, so the other stuff is really fun making too.